I'm San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. I am a Trinity University alum, and I want you to know about my passion for these two vibrant communities. My alma mater is now a nationally recognized liberal arts university, offering fully integrated arts, humanities, STEM, and professional programs. Grounded in the liberal arts, Trinity graduates students who think critically, act meaningfully, and contribute confidently throughout their careers. As for San Antonio, Trinity is an oasis in the heart of a city that serves as a cultural bridge to the Americas. We are a diverse community that values inclusion and welcomes intellectual curiosity and spirited debate. We're a city that challenges convention and welcomes new ideas. Great things are happening at Trinity University, in San Antonio, and through all our connections to our multicultural world. Join me in being part of this exciting moment.
Texas, number 30, Ashlyn Milton. Assistant coach for the Tigers is Kelly Simmons. Head coach for Trinity, Cameron Hill.
It has been a week full of quality basketball here in San Antonio, and we are incredibly fortunate to have what should be one of the better games of the week on paper, at least. And so far from what we've seen, these Loggers and Tigers are ready to put on a show. Puget Sound against Trinity, live from CalGuard Gym in the Alamo City. We've got Ashlyn Milton, we've got Sophie Nilsson at the Tiger logo, and they are ready to get us going. The white of Puget Sound will win it, and Katie Minahan will get her offense going to start things off. The Puget Sound Loggers in town from Tacoma, Washington had a thrilling victory last night, and they'll miss their first shot of the game with a Sophie Nilsson missed three. But what a finish it was. Grace Patinia-Hillier beating the buzzer and getting a victory over Mary Hardin-Baylor. It was a top 20 matchup that belonged to Puget Sound, and now they go up against the buzzsaw that are the Trinity Tigers, the number 3 team in the country, 10-0 on the year, defending their home court here today. Putnam will put up the three. It'll be off the rim and rebounded by Katie Minahan, but guess who it is? Maggie Robbins with the steal. And the Tigers get their first points of the game in very typical fashion. Loggers don't waste any time getting down the court, but their three is off, and here comes Maggie Robbins. Robbins has Hale in the corner. She pumps. Now she puts it up. Will be a little off on the three. But I promise you this, there will not be many breaks tonight. Kennedy Brown short on the jump shot. These two teams like to play fast. They like to play a press defense, and they won't take long to shoot. Milton puts up a three. It is no good. And the board collected by Sword out. She's stuck in the corner, but it'll stay with Puget Sound. It'll be a frantic pace throughout. Puget Sound, one of the better offenses in the country, averaging 80 points per game. That is 7th best in the country, but not to be outdone are the Trinity Tigers. They are 4th best in the country, averaging nearly 91. And here is another steal by Maggie Robbins. She has room. Will be blocked, though, by the Loggers. A great job defensively, but Maggie Robbins already 2 steals. And it is something you're going to have to get used to. She averages 4.3 steals a game. That is top 10 in the entire country. She'll send in the inbounds pass to Josie Napoli, finds Hale. A bump there, and it'll be a foul on Nilsson, who thought she didn't do much, but she will be called for the foul. And as we get a little bit of a break here on the foul call, get a chance to say it's me, Brian Jenselson again, and joined by Josh Muchigenda. Welcome.
Hey, great to be back. Should be a fantastic game here. Puget Sound played excellent yesterday against a ranked Mary Hardin-Baylor team, and then Trinity coming in now, number 3 in the country.
Two of the better teams, not only in the country, but very specifically in the West region. This very well could be a preview of a regional matchup come March. But first, we get to enjoy them here in December. Robbins sends it in to Napoli. A new shot clock for the Tigers. Putnam will have it to Milton, who's missed her first couple of shots. Firing it into Hale, but it goes to Nilsson as the Loggers take it away. And here come the Loggers. Sword out, will put up the three off the rim. Offensive board by Reverman. Now another board. And let's do it a 4th time. It took 4 shots, but the Loggers finally do get it on that possession. And they are on the board with 2. It is 2-2.
Kennedy Brown doing a great job of staying with the play.
And Napoli will be called for the offensive foul there. Nilsson getting in position. And last night for Puget Sound, it was a very slow start against Mary Hardin Baylor, really feeling their way into the gym and into the city. But then they erupted in the second quarter, kind of hung on in the third, and then came out with that win in the fourth quarter. Sword out from three, short on it. Meanwhile, Trinity had the opposite start against Mary Hardin Baylor as Brown has that one bounce out. The Tigers pounced for 25 points in the first quarter. We're up double digits. And then Mary Hardin Baylor clawed back, but they were able to hang on for the win, were the Trinity Tigers, to remain undefeated on the year. Hasn't been the cleanest start here. Still just 2 points for each team.
Tigers starting off 1 of 6 from the floor, and the Loggers 1 of 9. So
the press working to perfection, but Napoli can't connect on the easy mid-range. She thought she got pushed then from Nilsson, and Patinia Hillier, the hero from last night, now back in there. And both of these teams maybe a little anxious to face one another. There's been a lot of hype to this matchup now, especially after the win for Puget Sound last night. So just trying to find their footing. Putnam cutting inside over to Hale, pops from mid-range, and that'll be good for Claire Hale, the San Antonio native. Patinia Hillier to Nilsson. It'll be tipped by Putnam. She thought it was off Nilsson again, but it'll stay with Puget Sound. The Loggers of Puget Sound coming into today 9-1. They're 2-0 in conference play, but they throw it away here. And Napoli has a fast break shot. Putnam down low and gets it. That is Tiger basketball right there. The steal, the fast break, and the perfect pass to the perfect finish. Can Minahan replicate it? She backs it out to Patinia Hillier. Nice cut inside, but better defense by Robbins to meet her there. And Chetta thought she had a good look. Instead, now half the shot clock gone, and Puget Sound still hasn't put one up. It'll be Minahan. Rebounded by Patinia Hillier, and now Sword out from deep. Won't get it to go. Nothing falling for Puget Sound early. They are 1 for 11. Tigers looking to take advantage of their slow start as they've made their last 2. Napoli from deep. Napoli rims out, but there is Putnam up. No good. Hale now fighting for it, and she'll head to the line. We mentioned last game, Cam Hill giving Addie Putnam great praise, saying she is the best offensive rebounder I have ever seen. She got one there, and then her buddy, Claire Hale, got it, and she will head to the line.
Foul on Anchetta. Be her first.
Short on the first free throw is Hale.
Brian, you and I talked about what we expected out of this game last night after we saw Puget Sound with the buzzer beater win over the Crusaders of Mary Hardin Baylor. And we felt like the matchups seemed to be something familiar for us. And the two teams kind of have similar philosophies, like to get out and run, don't foul a whole lot, and like to play at a very up-tempo pace. And so far we're seeing that. We're just not seeing the ball go through the hoop, but we're seeing pretty much the two teams kind of running through their systems. And it's going to be interesting to see if they make any type of adjustments based off of the fact that the other team does almost this exact same thing.
And look at Grace Patinia Hillier, not phased at all from the stardom after last night. The senior from Portland, Oregon, knocks down a 3. And despite the slow start for the Loggers, they are just down 2. Napoli cuts past Patinia Hillier. That leaves a wide open Ashlyn Milton, and you don't want to do that. Ashlyn Milton gets on the board with a 3. And the ball kicked out of bounds, but if you were with us on Tiger Network just a couple days ago, you remember Ashlyn Milton now all alone in second place for most threes made in Trinity history. And we are on Milton Magic watch today, Josh, because she just could reach a few other milestones today and in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and you know, as we take a look at some of the highlights here, Tigers running out to a 10-5 lead, and there is Milton with the knockdown three. And just such a natural shooter. She came in as a first year, really kind of electrified at times, able to score into double digits throughout most of her early days, and would, you know, put up a 20 spot, you know, and just had a fantastic career here. You know, not really surprised.
Now 180 three-pointers made. Just wild to think the efficiency with which he has made them, because remember the sophomore season for her was cut short, just that shortened spring season. And now the senior from Amarillo, 11 points away from something special. It would be her season average to reach that, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. Just pay close attention at home. As the ball swatted away, but we'll stay with Puget Sound as some of the second unit in there for Trinity. Annika Sines, Emily Nelson, and Maggie Shipley in there again this week after missing 6 games with a shoulder injury. Reappeared against Mary Hardin Baylor and is back in there for Trinity. A great move by Reverman. She gets 2 for the Loggers and taken right back by Anchetta. So we mentioned both these teams play press defense, and you're seeing it work early. No rest for the weary if you're a Tiger or a Logger. Kennedy Brown dashes in the paint, and she'll head to the line for 2. And Kennedy Brown has been off on her first couple of shots, but she is not someone you want to let get going. Averaging 16 points a game. She was an all-second team member of the conference a year ago, and she is leading her team this year. And she knocks down her first free throw. And someone that really we've seen not afraid to shoot even if she doesn't make the first couple.
Yeah, and she had the first bucket of the game for Puget Sound after getting her own rebound, staying with it. You know, not afraid to go inside either. One of the shorter players on the court, but not afraid to take it all the way to the rim. We've seen that quite a bit both last night and already here today in the first quarter. So it's going to be a tough matchup here for Trinity. There's quite a few players for Puget Sound. I think it's going to be one of the toughest games Trinity's going to have all season long.
Ball off of Annika Sines, but she's able to hold on to it. Shipley has it. She finds Sines over there on the wing. A little strong for number 10, but it'll stay with Trinity, so a third opportunity coming right up.
And one of the things that I think is going to be indicative of who's going to really take control of this game is what team is waiting for the game to come to them as opposed to which team is going to go take the game away from the other team. And right now, I'm seeing a little bit of hesitation from Trinity, both on the inbound play that was stolen earlier, and then down on this possession, there were a couple of moments where it was like they just didn't really want to make the attacking play and come away with this possession with no points. So I think that that's going to be something I want to see out of Trinity. If you're a Tigers fan sitting at home watching, you want to see them start to be more aggressive and start to let the game be dictated by what they're doing as opposed to them reacting to what Puget Sound does. And then obviously the reverse if you're a Loggers fan.
It's a very confident Loggers squad who come in sensing that they were the underdogs. Repeated it over and over last night because I was just so fascinated by how Coach Casey Kushiyama for Puget Sound admitted that he felt they were underdogs. But the underdogs came out on top yesterday, and they have nothing to lose here. Kennedy Brown open from the corner, and it goes down for her. I mean, when you think about it, they're playing with house money on the road against the third-ranked team in the country. It's not going to affect their conference standing. It can only help their strength of schedule and at-large hopes. And right now, they have plenty of energy. They have taken the lead 12-10, a 7-0 run for the Loggers.
And early on, it looks like Trinity struggling with the press, forcing a long pass that gets deflected out, so they're fortunate to keep possession. But again, not really taking control of the game, not coming back to the ball to come get it when the teammate's in trouble, waiting for that long pass to develop, and then when it's in the midair, Puget Sound's got the athletes to go out there and snatch it away. And so again, not really seeing Trinity adapt to, the competition that's right in front of them right now.
And you know that Trinity goes up against the press every single day in practice because they employ it, so they're used to it. But it is different when you see it in the game against such a quality opponent. Emily Nelson finding signs in the paint. Can she turn around with the ball? No, it'll be a jump ball forced by Puget Sound. The ball will stay with the maroon and white of Trinity. But the Loggers everywhere right now, living up to their name, a forest with tall trees. Shipley cutting right, finds Nelson, able to save it from the sideline. The floater, maybe a pass. It is a pass to Shipley, but it was not off in time. And we hope you can hear the cheers coming from the Puget Sound bench because they are deafening right now.
You saw Nelson kind of tap her chest. That's my fault. Yeah, and it was. Shot clock running down under 4, and you drive the lane. You've got to take that shot. You can't dish it off.
Nilsson finds Brown. She decides to cut. Nilsson over, right back to her, and Kennedy Brown. She thought about it, and she thought right. You saw that moment of hesitation, but she says, I can handle it, and knocks down her second three of the game. It is 15-10 Puget Sound. A 10-0 run now over the last 2 minutes. Trinity can't buy anything. The ball taken away by Kennedy Brown. And with under 2 minutes to go, it remains a 5-point lead. Nilsson to Reverman in the corner. Brown cuts in front of the line. Too strong there. And now cleared out for Bailey Timmons and the Tigers. Can they stop this tide? Shipley takes it herself, and she says, let me take a trip to the charity stripe and calm things down.
When nothing else is working, see if you can get yourself to the line, kind of reset, slow the pace down just a little bit. I will say this frantic pace that we're seeing back and forth right now does seem to be favoring Puget Sound ever so slightly. A bit of a shock. I'm sure Trinity fans would say, like, this is the pace we love to play at. But it's a little different when you're playing a team that also loves to play at that pace, because it's whichever one kind of has the upstart and a little bit more. I would say that, early on in a game, you look at Puget Sound played last night, Trinity played 2 nights ago. So coming out of the chute, Puget Sound just kind of rolling with what they've just been out there with 24 hours ago, less than that. And so, Trinity's got to, like I said, go out there and start making the plays happen. And it looks like we're going to get a 10-second violation here as possession was never established by the Tigers.
After 2 missed free throws by Maggie Shipley, the Tigers are able to force that 10-second violation, but they have not scored in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. All in all, though, they are down just 5. Still very much in this quarter and in this game. Perfect drop-off for Natalie Anderson, but she had a little trouble handling it, and then it affected her layup. So the Loggers going the other way. Nilsson to sword out. Patinia Hillier feeling good, and she's trying to follow her own miss, but won't get it. Shipley thinks it's off Puget Sound, and she's right. But one of the more interesting parts of this matchup is not only are the teams very similar strategically, running the press, but we felt after watching Puget Sound last night that a couple of player matchups in particular really are almost mirror images of one another, as Nelson spots up from 3. Sword out, collects it, and Nelson was in the right place at the right time, couldn't finish. Anderson now finally gets one to go. For the first time in 4 minutes, the Tigers get points. But Nilsson right now with the ball. She is the tallest player on this roster, gets it over to Brown. She's off on the 3, but you look at Nilsson, very much matches up with a Maggie Shipley, a big player who can run the point. As we see them going up against each other now, it'll be Maggie Shipley winning that matchup. And then you look at Kate Minahan and Maggie Robbins at the point. Some keys to look out for as Nilsson heaves up the shot. It'll be no good. And Trinity will get out of this first quarter down just 1.
Yeah, excellent back and forth quarter. And I think, probably surprising very little with the game being as close and competitive as we're seeing. You talk about Nielsen and Shipley. I say it's unusual that, you've got 2 players kind of matching up in that way, both 6 foot. and both absolutely run the floor as if they're the point guard. It's going to be no surprise to see them bring the ball down for their teams, and they both have decent long-range shots, and so it really it fits the style of both teams because they like to spread the floor, like to spread everything out, and then for me it's going to be a matter of everybody kind of knows what to expect from the other team because they run it very similar to how you do. The big question is what's going to be that little difference maker? What team's going to establish maybe some inside presence? What team's going to, start figuring out where the driving lanes or the passing lanes on the cuts are going to be to get the cheap, easy baskets that, when you look back at the end of the game and it's a 1 or 2 possession game, you're like, if we could have knocked down 2 or 3 shots back in the second quarter, this, going a lot differently for us. So, this is going to be like a heavyweight battle here between two teams because they're just so similar in what they do, and then it's going to be a matter of how well they react. So they've seen it, like you said, in practice every day. They kind of seen each other the whole time. So now it's just we're seeing it just ever so slightly differently, and who can react and do a little bit better job. And right now, Puget Sound, we talked about last night for Mary Hardin-Baylor, they didn't really have anybody up until second half of that game that wanted to take over. And right now, Kennedy Brown for Puget Sound, I feel already has taken over this game.
Nilsson in between 5, so what does she do? She dumps it down to Minahan. Minahan went most of last night without scoring, but she gets on the board early on. Another matchup we are very much looking at. Minahan and Robbins, 2 of the greater thieves in the country, and thieve in the best way possible, as Putnam is long on the 3. But both Minahan and Robbins average 4 steals a game and give teams opportunities like this in the fast break, but they have to slow it down. Kick it to Nilsson in the top of the key, and it is good for Nilsson. You said she has a pretty decent long-range shot, and she sure does. She is shooting 50% from the free throw line, but 27% from the three-point line, so she makes up for it from distance. Maggie Robbins with the ball. Shot clock approaching 10, so Napoli heaves it up. Way off for her, though. And so these distance shots haven't been there for the Tigers. They have been at their best when they go to the basket. Putnam, maybe sensing that a little bit, decides to have a floater, gets it right back for herself, but the second shot won't be good either.
It's almost as if the presence of Nilsson, even when she's not trying to defend the shot, has changed everybody's approach to what they want to do inside. Again, we're not seeing Trinity take the game to Puget Sound. Puget Sound definitely taking it to Trinity. No surprise they're down 8.
The starting unit trying to find any winning combination right now. Napoli to a driving Putnam. Nice fake for her, and she gets the layup down. A nice response for Addie Putnam after missing a couple down low. The senior from Scottsdale, Arizona. She gets back on defense, but an open Anchetta to DeSala, and DeSala will not hit from the corner, but another offensive board and a jump ball. It'll belong to Trinity. Slow to get up there is Eisenman, who is battling with Milton for the board. She'll head to the bench. Couple substitutions on the way. And Maggie Robbins will bring it in for the Trinity Tigers. Putnam in the corner, gets it to Napoli. One of the slower walk-ups we've gotten to see. Milton thinks about it from the corner, steps inside. Beautiful footwork for Ashlyn Milton, and she is up to 5. Showing that she can do way more than just shoot it from 3. Active hands there for Trinity. And a travel going to be called on Anchetta before she can get the shot off. So maybe those last couple of possessions, a layup from Milton, a layup from Putnam, and a couple of defensive stops leading to Trinity's deficit down to 4. Coach Kushiyama sensing the need for some energy, so he goes to Patinia Hillier. Little stoppage here as they figure out the substitutions. I think there's some confusion on the jump ball since these teams switched colors from just a couple of games ago, making sure that it is in fact Trinity in red, so when they say jump ball to red. But these are two teams with maroon and white in their school colors. So we can't just rely on saying, oh, point for the maroon and white anymore. We'll have to explain who it is, and who it is there. It'll be Josie Napoli. Newly in maroon and white is Josie Napoli. Very familiar with this squad from Tacoma, transferring from Pacific Lutheran, and what a collision we have here. Putnam coming in hard on the block attempt. And trying to see who it was there. It was Reverman who took the hard fall. Just going full speed ahead. But it looks like she's okay, and she will get to shoot tube. But was talking about Josie Napoli, coming from Pacific Lutheran, so she's very familiar with Puget Sound up in the Northwest Conference. Reverman's first free throw bounces out. The Loggers favorites to win the Northwest Conference this year, and they have gotten off to a hot start, 2-0 in conference play, including a big victory over rival Whitman. Reverman misses both free throws there, and the Tigers looking to tie things up or take the lead. Napoli doubled, gets it to Robbins. Now she can dissect the defense, and did, but Claire Hale just couldn't hold on to that ball. But that was one of the better possessions we've seen in terms of allowing Robbins to really get into her quarterback position on the court. Sword out, helps get it across with Minahan. And now the Loggers can operate. Minahan going right up against Robbins. You see this matchup. The shot clock under 10 now. Brown might have to just throw it up there. And there is a steal for Robbins, getting it out ahead to Putnam. Robbins trying to find Hale, instead gets it to Milton. Swings right back across to Putnam, ball flying everywhere. And a foul going to be called on Reverman, number 11 for Puget Sound. Risky passes there on that last possession.
Not the best possession there if you're a Trinity fan, as you saw the ball just kind of floating in the air for quite a bit of that. And Nielsen will check back in, maybe hoping to stem this run that the Tigers have had.
Bounce pass into Napoli. Milton thought about the three, gets it back to Napoli. It'll be Robbins back with the ball, floats it off the glass, gets her own miss, and will head to the line. The effort certainly continues to be there for both teams, even when the shots aren't falling. But right now, a 6-0 run for Trinity over the last 2 minutes, and Maggie Robbins with 2 points, 3 rebounds. And we'll try to double up her point total here. You get a good look at number 11 hitting her first free throw. Already 2 Conference Player of the Week awards and a National Player of the Week award. Maggie Robbins has been off to an excellent start. Coach Cam Hill saying that he calls her a cheat code because she is just too good sometimes. It is not fair what she is able to do. And saying that she's a player that was really meant to play for Cam Hill because they both have a killer attitude, wanting to win no matter what it takes. And you just see it in her eyes sometimes. She will do, truly, whatever it takes to win on the court, whether it's scoring, taking the ball away, or dishing it down to her teammates.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you can get Maggie Robbins scoring for your team, that's a bonus. Because she's the type of player that's going to get you a double-double without scoring, which is just incredible. You know, she can have days where she gets 10 boards and 10 assists, or 10 boards and 10 steals sometimes. But it's just fantastic what she does all over the floor.
Elaine King gets the offensive board and will get the opportunity to complete a three-point play. One of the loudest roars in the gym today, appreciating the effort from the first-year Elaine King out of Cedar Park, Texas.
Yeah, 10-0 run now here for the Tigers. That has been huge here in the second half. Or, excuse me, the second quarter.
The three-point play is good. And Elaine King, one of a handful of first-years, making an impact for the Together Tigers. who are up 3 now on Puget Sound. The Loggers have gone cold, just like the weather outside in San Antonio. The ball taken away by Robbins. Here come the Tigers. Napoli to a cutting Putnam. She gets it to Milton and to perfection. That'll be a timeout for Puget Sound, and the Trinity Tigers have found their way. You know it wouldn't take long. It took a quarter, but they are fully here and ready to go, Josh.
Yeah, 3 minutes and the big change, 13-0 run. We've said it throughout these games that we've had here since Monday evening when Trinity played Mary Hardin-Baylor. Defense will lead to great offense, and it'll lead to easy offense, and that's what Trinity's done. They weren't having a whole lot of success coming down, going through the offense or anything else. They were also not playing great defense at that time. They've stepped it up. The intensity has been there, and they've had a lot of easy transitional buckets. And it's impossible to defend a ball when you're not even in the paint because the team's up ahead of you. So it's just a fantastic mentality change here for the Tigers because, when I said, the score was 22-14 and Trinity just looked like they were lost out there. They flipped a switch and instantly, the defense started to come alive. They started making the right type of plays, and they've come alive both defensively but now offensively.
And you saw it on that last play before the timeout, the unselfish basketball. Napoli getting it to Putnam, and then Putnam getting it right to Milton for the even easier look. That is when the Tigers are at their best, sharing the ball. They have 22 assists per game this year. No team in the country has a better assist per game rate than that. And Coach Hill saying it's just a matter of sharing the ball, being willing to give it to your teammate, and also saying back in the summer, rather than going to drawing up plays and teaching this team specifics on where to be, they worked on continuities and giving everybody the opportunity to run every action on the court, whether it's cutting, whether it's popping and shooting. And then once they were comfortable with one another, they were able...
Third foul for Nielsen there.
They were able to feel where they were on the court and then lead to the strong offense. And so we're seeing it perfectly here. And you usually see defense lead to offense, and it so often does, but now the offense kind of leading to the defense too as the Loggers kind of scrambling, and Nielsen will have to head to the bench with that third foul. So we'll see if this run can continue for the Tigers. 13-0 run over the last 3.5. Brown playing right up on Napoli. She gains some separation, now looking for a teammate. Putnam has it with 10 left on the clock. And a foul way away from the ball on Puget Sound.
Yeah, they're going to get Minahan. She was impeding Milton from getting to the top of the key to try to, top of the free throw line there, try to take that inbound or that pass coming in.
So Ashlyn Milton will shoot a pair, as that'll be team foul number 5 on Puget Sound. Trinity will shoot from the line on every foul in the quarter. Just off there for Milton. Couple new names out there for the Tigers. We've got Sky O'Rourke, who saw some playing time against Mary Hardin-Baylor, and then we have Jalen Martin, the first year from Ashburn, Virginia, who did not go in there against the Crew, but now will bring her energy onto the court. Minahan gets it at center court and allows the Loggers to set up their offense. Kushiyama from the sideline directing traffic for his team. It'll end up with Anchetta. Now Minahan all the way across to Brown. She had someone in the corner, but she didn't see her. Ball has to go up. It does. It's off, but the rebound for Swartout. So bailed out there are the Loggers thanks to the effort of Swartout. Brown wide open for 3, and that's not what you want to do if you're Trinity. That is exactly how Puget Sound wants to end a drought.
So 13 now for Brown, 3 of 7 from downtown, and at this point, if you're Trinity, it's, you're playing excellent defense, but she's just finding, and great scorers too. They find ways to just get to where the defenders aren't going to be. 3-second call here against Trinity.
And Emily Nelson checking in for the Tigers. But Kennedy Brown in pressing as she heads to the bench. Coach Kushiyama saying she is one of the hardest workers that he has coached. And he's been in this business a while now, 6 seasons as the head coach for Puget Sound, but he spent a long time at several different Northwest Conference schools. He attended Linfield, and so he knows a thing or two, which makes it high praise for Kennedy Brown, who takes a breather here with 2:45 to go in the second quarter. And Chetta trying to turn the corner, finds Minahan somewhere she feels comfortable, but a little short on that jump shot. But Patinia Hillier ends up with it. She has no one near her. She could tell she was off, though, and it'll belong to Martin.
The game stopped for blood on a player. One of the players is bleeding. Minahan off the elbow. And they'll take a moment to get her bandaged up and jump back in there.
Taking it literally when they say putting everything into their game.
Yeah, and Puget Sound only has 4 on the court right now. They're going to put her right back in. Now they're going to stick. Yeah, Minahan's going to stay in. They brought Kennedy Brown to the table just in case I was taking longer. But, yeah, normally they allow you, 45 seconds to a minute to get that bandaged up real quick if it's nothing too serious. Trinity really struggling with this pressure situation. And they're able to capitalize here as Puget Sound unable to, in both teams, just kind of maybe going a little bit too fast. But Trinity struggling with the full court press. A lot of it is just awareness. I don't think that, and it's hard to imagine that Trinity wouldn't be aware or how to deal with how to, go against the press. It's just players are not being forceful with their passes. They're lobbing a little bit too much, and they're being a little too lackadaisical. And Puget Sound's looking to crawl back in this. They're only down 3.
They were up by as many as 8, then fell behind by 6. Patinia Hillier with 5 left. Sword out in the corner will be called either for a travel or for having her foot on the line. I think it's the foot on the line. Coach Cam Hill right there to help the officials out. Maggie Shipley will bring it in for the Tigers, back in there with Sky O'Rourke, Emily Nelson, Elaine King, and Jalen Martin. Elaine King helps meet her to bring the ball across, and now Martin has it. Sky O'Rourke charging through will get her own miss. Ball bouncing around a little bit, and it ends up with Anchetta, and Chetta has 3 Tiger defenders near her. Now it'll be back out to Minahan, guns it to Patinia Hillier. Thought she might try the floater that worked so well for her yesterday.
Blocked. Nice job by Jalen Martin to get a piece of the layup that was almost uncontested and just did enough to block it from behind.
Shot clock winding down again. Patinia Hillier has to put it up, gets it to Sword out.
Travel.
Got the sense that it really had to be Patinia Hillier there because that extra pass led to the chaos, leading to the travel.
Yeah, there is a thing that some teams can be a little bit too unselfish. And so I'm sure we'll see some of that second half adjustments as we come to the half with under a minute to play here in the second quarter.
Shipley underneath had the room after she got past the defender. Couldn't finish it there, but will get the ball back. 44 seconds remaining here. Trinity 28, Puget Sound 25. The floater no good for Elaine King. Martin gets her hands in the way, leading a fast break now. 3-on-2. Thought there was some contact. Instead, the ball will go to Puget Sound, and then it looked like...
That was an interesting call. The ball never went out of bounds, and the player standing out of bounds there. The call is being corrected.
Yeah, now Trinity ball. Was going to say it looked like Anchetta had her foot on the line as she got the rebound, and the officials corrected it. O'Rourke this time gets it down and one.
Brings the Trinity crowd to a standing ovation here. As you get a good look at the parent section right behind the team bench.
Sky O'Rourke, the first year from Austin, Texas, short on her free throw.
Puget Sound has the final shot if they want it.
They won't get the final shot because he'll get a foul. Oh, and they're going to say it wasn't in the act of shooting, so correct that. It'll be from the baseline instead. Minahan bringing it in. So Swartout has it with 9 seconds left. Into the corner, it'll be Dasala. Dasala gets it to go.
A fantastic way to end the quarter and the half there for Puget Sound. Really well done executing that out of bounds play with 10 seconds to go. That's now twice they've beaten the buzzer here in the past 2 games. And nice little recovery here for Trinity, where they were down 1 going into the start of the second quarter. They'll go into the start of the second half up 2. It's been, like I said, after the first quarter, kind of exactly what we expected. Just back and forth, up-tempo. 2 teams just kind of going at it. I'd love to see what type of second half adjustments both teams come up with, because I think now they should be at a comfort level and know exactly what to expect as they go forward.
You won't want to step away from any of the action, and we'll have it for you on Tiger Network. 14 and a half minutes left in halftime, so stick around with us for the second half.
I'm San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. I am a Trinity University alum, and I want you to know about my passion for these 2 vibrant communities. My alma mater is now a nationally recognized liberal arts university, offering fully integrated arts, humanities, STEM, and professional programs. Grounded in the liberal arts, Trinity graduates students who think critically, act meaningfully, and contribute confidently throughout their careers. As for San Antonio, Trinity is an oasis in the heart of a city that serves as a cultural bridge to the Americas. We are a diverse community that values inclusion and welcomes intellectual curiosity and spirited debate. We're a city that challenges convention and welcomes new ideas. Great things are happening at Trinity University, in San Antonio, and through all our connections to our multicultural world. Join me in being part of this exciting moment.
Welcome back to CalGuard Gym and to Tiger Network, where the Trinity Tigers are holding on to a 30-28 lead over the Puget Sound Loggers. The Loggers feeling good after a win over Mary Hardin-Baylor last night, and they're looking to shock the Tigers in CalGuard Gym. But for Trinity, trying to defend their jungle, and it'll start off in the third quarter with a Sophie Nilsson drive and trip to the line. Sophie Nilsson, who kind of moves her shoulder a little bit on her way to the charity stripe. Didn't see a whole lot of action in that first half because she has 3 personal fouls to work with, but she is someone that the Loggers really rely on. Averaging nearly 11 points a game. Her first free throw bounces out.
Starting 5 for both teams here in the second half. You got Swartout, Minahan, Reverman, Nielsen, and Brown for Puget Sound, and Napoli, Robbins, Putnam, Hale, and Milton, who was charged with that last foul for the Tigers.
Both free throws no good for Nilsson, so a missed opportunity there. We'll see if the Tigers can build this lead. So often a year ago, we saw them have a little bit of a slow first half, and then before you knew it in the third quarter, they were running away with it. Will they have that sort of effort here today? Robbins, her pass intercepted. She's trying to fight for it on the baseline, but it'll belong to Puget Sound. So the active hands not going anywhere after the halftime break for two teams that love taking the ball away from one another. Claire Hale setting up the full court press for Trinity. Minahan trying to get around Putnam, has to send it back. Nilsson eventually gets it to Swartout, but poked away by Robbins. The Rob is in her name, isn't it? And then Claire Hale with a lane to the rim. A great start for the Tigers, and another takeaway. Can Hale put it up? Yes, she can. There is Claire Hale with the first 2 buckets of the half. And the intensity will force a travel in the corner. And that's the full court press the Trinity Tigers are used to. Just a minute gone by in the third quarter, and the Tigers have already forced 3 turnovers and have gotten 2 buckets to go up by 6. Napoli over to Milton. She steps it to Putnam. Ball deflected. Watch out for Minahan. Minahan will force the jump ball, and surprised to see Putnam there not rush to the ball a little quicker.
I think she was worried about an over and back, and the ball clearly deflected, so you've got to go. I was just about to say, Trinity, we talked about it in the first half. Which of these 2 teams is going to want to take this game away from the other one? Trinity coming out, starting to look like that was their team, and then we see sort of just the hesitation from the backcourt.
Ashlyn Milton with an easy layup. She is into double digits, the first Tiger to do so with 10 points, and she is approaching a milestone. Ashlyn Milton, the leading scorer for the Tigers. Milton Magic Watch continues. Nilsson backing it. Now out to Reverman. Reverman had a fantastic game yesterday. Haven't heard much from her so far. Minahan saves it, sends it over to Reverman. Shot clock at 7. It'll be Nilsson from deep, and she is good.
Second 3 of the day for Nilsson.
This one a lot more difficult than the first. Did it falling back. Now Milton responding, and she does. That is 13 points for Ashlyn Milton. And she continues to be on fire from deep.
Great job there from Kennedy Brown, attacking the rim, drawing the contact. It's what got Trinity, in my opinion, when Nilsson was able to sit down earlier with the foul situation. It's what really got Trinity back into the game, changing the complexity of who was out there on the floor. So I think it's imperative for both teams to try to continue to attack, draw those fouls, force the other team to make the decision of who they're going to keep out on the floor. And Kennedy Brown back to the line where she was 2 of 2, now 3 of 3, and 14 points. She's back into the game high for scoring.
She's done it for a while. She was the freshman of the year in the Northwest Conference, and now as a junior, continuing to lead Puget Sound to great success. Able to knock down her free throws. Milton in the corner, puts it up a little short. It'll end up in the hands of Minahan. But every shot now for Milton worth keeping an eye on, just as it is for Kennedy Brown, not slowing down at all. Thought she might have had her foot on the line, but they're saying it was a 3. Napoli gets the swing pass, now cuts in the paint floater, rattles out to the left, and Sword out, trying to clear it, fighting through contact, and a foul will go against number 11, Maggie Robbins. Substitutions coming in for Puget Sound, Patinia Hillier and Anchetta. It'll be Anchetta, newly in the game, to bring it in. The freshman from Puyallup, Washington. Has Claire Hale right in her face, was going to say, and it goes right back to her. Claire Hale does such a good job as the first block of the press, the first roadblock. And now Patinia Hillier, smaller in stature, has to go way over Claire Hale, is able to, but look at Milton right there. Robbins deflected by Patinia Hillier, but Putnam still has it. Napoli now slowing it down to Putnam. Claire Hale inside. Can she back him down? She did, but way off the glass and out for the miss, but a travel as Nilsson went to the ground. Will keep it with the maroon and white of Trinity. So after coming out firing after the locker room break, Trinity slowing down a little bit, but just 3 minutes gone by, which is crazy because it felt like more. These teams playing so quickly. Napoli out to Milton. She puts it up short again. She felt it and was trying to pursue her own miss. Now rushing back on defense, trying to stop Kennedy Brown. One-on-one Milton and Brown. Now help from Napoli. And the help was needed as it slowed down that break.
Kennedy Brown able to sprint up the floor. I don't know if Trinity really has anybody that's been able to get back with the same speed as she has throughout the day. So if she starts to take the fast break, I want to see Trinity's defenders just kind of cut and run and hit the low block, because she is attacking the rim every time she's got the fast break opportunities.
20 on the shot clock for Puget Sound. Down 3 here in the third quarter. Nilsson will try it again, and why not? Sophie Nilsson knocks down her third triple and ties things up at 39.
An 8-0 run now for the Loggers here in the last minute plus of game time.
Hale off her foot. Yep, it'll be basketball belonging to Puget Sound. Tough break for Claire Hale, but she gets right back to her defensive position. Even tougher spot really for the Loggers to bring it in from the caddy corner. They do a nice job getting it across. And here comes Brown. She has Nilsson all alone. Nice closeout though by Milton late to force the ball around. Nilsson still wants to put it up. And Sophie Nilsson has come to play, folks. That is 4 3-pointers. For Sophie Nilsson, she is up to 12 points and 7 rebounds to go along with 4 assists, and you can see why, Josh. Coach Casey Kushiyama is so happy to have her back, and I'm not seeing much problem with the shoulder, but Coach Kushiyama saying that she still hasn't been fully healthy, but is back out there giving it a go, and saying that any fraction of Sophie Nilsson is an all-conference player, and we're getting that on full display here yesterday and today.
Yeah, definitely, and you see the highlights there for her, and another 3 there. She's hit 3 here in the last minute and a half. And not only that, but just the way she's shooting them, it just looks so natural and effortless. It's you know, sometimes when you're just watching the game, you can see a shooter shoot and just be like, yeah, that person can shoot from almost anywhere on the floor. And when a person gets that confidence that she's feeling right now, she might be able to shoot from just about anywhere on the floor. An 11-0 run here for the Loggers.
For your tallest player to also be perhaps your best shooter from deep is such a rare combination at any level of basketball, let alone D3 here at Trinity and Puget Sound. But Sophie Nilsson seems to be just that for the Loggers. She stands at 6 foot tall, and can also knock them down from just about anywhere. We've seen it from the top of the key, we've seen it fading away, and we've seen it in transition as well. She is not afraid to put it up. What do the Tigers respond with? A turnover. Robbins ends up in the hands of Minahan.
Yeah, Petunia Hillier with a great poke from behind on Robbins.
And now she tries to get it from the corner, way off the glass, the side of the basket there. But there is Minahan forcing the steal. And Katie Minahan said she has 4.6 steals per game. Coach Kushiyama has a travel will be called on Nilsson before we could complete the praise of the steal. But Coach Kushiyama calling Katie Minahan Spider-Man for her sticky hands that she always gets in the way of the ball. Robbins had a double-double earlier this year with 10 steals. Well, Katie Minahan also did as well. She had 12 steals at one point. Robbins on the other end will give it to Hale, who draws some contact and will head to the line.
Foul on Encheta.
But you look at Minahan, someone that even when she's not scoring, just 4 points today, very similar to Robbins, just can contribute in so many other ways. She has 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal as Hale gets ready from the line. First free throw good for Claire Hale.
Yeah, big free throws here for Trinity. I know there's still a lot of time left in this game, but 1, that stops the scoring run, and 2, kind of gives you a little bit more of that confidence that this one's not about to get away from you.
Smart play heading to the baseline to keep it with Trinity. Emily Nelson newly in the game. Nearest to Maggie Robbins as the movement off the ball gets set. Napoli collects the long pass from Robbins. 20 on the shot clock. Milton all alone. Can she hit it? Yes, she can. Ashlyn Milton with the Milton magical moment. With that shot, she is now over 1,000 points for her career. Just the 19th Tiger ever to reach that milestone. So congratulations to Ashlyn Milton. But as you see, Puget Sound not taking any time to celebrate with the Tigers. They get one right back from Sophie Nilsson. And nearly a steal, but Napoli hangs on to it. Robbins now out to Hale. And it'll be a blocking foul. Could have been a charge, and if that's on Nilsson, that could be huge.
It'll be her 4th.
It is on Nilsson. That'll be, like you said, Josh, her 4th personal foul. Just 4:39 left in the third quarter. But she's going to have to either play with that foul or head to the bench, which would be a big momentum shift away from Puget Sound. But using this under 5-minute timeout to talk about Ashlyn Milton, Josh, because she has been one of the most special scorers here at Trinity. Now 1,000 points for her career. And just like the three-point accomplishment, doing that with a shortened season in her sophomore year, still getting to that special mark. Been a pleasure to watch her play and setting up to be a very special season for the senior from Amarillo, Texas.
Yeah, you get excited about, seniors who, kind of get an opportunity, especially, I will say, within the last 3 years. I mean, nothing has been normal for the senior class here. And you would know that as you would just recently graduated here in December. By the way, congratulations on that. But being a member of the same class as Ashlyn, it has been a unique journey here. And so to have a season where they can come back, because I think last year you've had a full season, and then you could build upon what you had last year into this year. And that's where I think the big difference is they didn't get that for 4 years. They got that last year and then this year. So it's been fantastic to watch her play. Unfortunately, we got robbed of a little bit of that time, and it's been great to see it so far here and, what might be the final season.
And what Coach Cameron Hill says about Ashlyn Milton is she's just someone that doesn't hype herself up, goes about her business, and she has made strides every single year in all facets of her game. And we have seen it on full display as Maggie Robbins gets to herself. And the Tigers back up by 1, trying to get back defensively now. But Anchetta will end up all alone underneath. So these Loggers, every time it looks like the Tigers might be getting the momentum shift, they claw it back. Nelson, great dish to Claire Hale, and Claire Hale will head to the line again, where she has gotten comfortable today. It'll be her 5th and 6th attempts. And I think it's interesting that you said we got robbed of getting to watch Ashlyn Milton during that shortened year. A few of us got the opportunity to be in the gym, even though fans weren't allowed. But someone that wasn't allowed was Claire Hale's family. And even though Claire Hale is from San Antonio, she missed all of her freshman year with a torn ACL. Then her sophomore year has COVID prevent fans from coming into the gym. Then tears her ACL her junior year. So you know that this year, this is the first time that her family actually gets to watch her play in Calgary Gym. And she has loved every second of it. As she talked to me earlier this week, missed her second free throw, but her team gets it back for her. Napoli from the free throw line, jump shot, and look at Hale battle for the board. Coach Hill can't believe that it's a jump ball and not a foul, because now it'll go to Puget Sound, but Claire Hale, a round of applause as she sits down. Wild to think what we've experienced over these 2 years, but these Tigers have stuck together, and they keep doing it here. Ashlyn Milton with an easy 2.
And she ties Kennedy Brown with 18. That's the game high.
The steals really starting to pile up for the maroon and white of Trinity. Sword out from the corner, way over the bucket. And now Maggie Robbins will get to direct the offense. It'll be Nelson, finds Milton. What a pass and a better finish. And you can see the clapping from Cam Hill. So proud of that pass from Nelson. He is hopping up and down the sideline. On the other end, the 3, no good. Rebound by the smallest Tiger there, Robbins. But then taken right back by the Loggers. This is the type of pace we expected, folks. Hope you're keeping up with us. Katinia Hillier out to Sword out from the opposite corner. This time it is good for number 1. Loggers within 1 as Napoli drives down the floor. Elaine King back in there. She takes the contact and puts it in for 2. Elaine King has dealt with all sorts of battles down there, and even through it, able to connect and head to the line.
Fantastic run of basketball right here. Both teams trying to take it to each other. Finding success offensively. The defense has stepped up for both teams, and the offense has stepped up just that slight bit more. Tigers still struggling from the foul line, though.
Can't leave her all alone. Nearly stepped up to take the 3. Instead, it'll be Reverman charging left, and she draws the foul. It's fun to see, even from up here, how you can look at it in the eyes of the players. Kennedy Brown has that instinct to put it up. And she was just dribbling, just setting up her offense, and she nearly put up a 3 because they left her all alone. But the unselfish play to get it to Reverman for the free throws, and the first one good for number 11. One of a couple of Oregon natives on this team that hails from Tacoma, Washington. And that one bounces out. Shipley collects the board. And she takes it all the way up before getting it to Putnam. Nearly a travel for Putnam. Nelson, no look pass to Shipley. That was a good looking pass before it was deflected. So after a couple that got away from her in the first half, Emily Nelson really stepping up her dishing.
Yeah, nice little deflection out. I believe that was Reverman.
Now the ball into Shipley at first, taken by Reverman. It ends up with Kennedy Brown. 1-on-1, she scoops it up and scores. 52-52 with 2 minutes left in San Antonio. Now the ball stripped away, but it'll stay.
Out of bounds off the Loggers.
Stay with Trinity, even though it could have been a steal or a jump ball. Coach Kushiyama clapping for his team, continuing to apply the pressure. Now can Shipley back down her defender? This is where she is so good, puts it up, a little bit short. Rebound for Reverman. But good to see Shipley feeling confident enough to post up, even if it didn't fall. Now she forces the takeaway. She is all alone. Can she finish? Not quite. Gets it back down to Milton. Will take that very much. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. And the Tigers taking it to heart, even on the Shipley miss. Clear as day walk for Kennedy Brown. We'll give it right back to Trinity. 24 turnovers now for Puget Sound. 17 for the Trinity Tigers. Not a number either team will be happy with, but you understand with both teams playing this full court press that it'll happen. Ashlyn Milton will check out for the first time in this third quarter. And now you have 4 reserves out there with the starter Putnam. Putnam stuck, and she smartly calls a timeout. She
Smartly,
had no other
but
option.
at the same time, you've got to know as you're up against the clock to get it across. But at the same time, you can't let yourself go into that corner. You see a couple of highlights here from the last few minutes. And there's quite a few. Those were some pretty good scoring runs for both teams. All right, Brian, I've got to ask. You've always got something for us on our visiting teams as they come into town. Puget Sound, the Loggers.
Yeah, and it was pretty conflicting, honestly, because there wasn't an official story, but I was able to cobble it together. And my favorite one that I found, and I think this makes a lot of sense, and it's that during the California Gold Rush in 1848, beginning at that time, there needed to be a lot of wood delivered to California, and so the Pacific Northwest became a hub for that. The Puget Sound area of Washington became home to dozens of sawmills, and so thanks to that rich history of logging in Washington, they are known as the Puget Sound Loggers.
Yeah, so most of you probably at home felt like that was pretty self-explanatory, but at the same time, nice little history there with the Gold Rush. Would not have come up with that part of it, but that makes a lot of sense.
Reverman cutting in the paint, short on the floater. Who will end up with it? DeSala takes a hard tumble. And a foul called on, I believe, Addie Putnam. It is on number 12. So DeSala will head to the line. Rebecca DeSala, someone who did not score yesterday, had not scored today until that buzzer beater 3 before the half. The senior from Mount Lake Terrace, Washington, gets her first free throw to go. As Coach Kushiyama saying, was really excited to come down from the bubble of the Pacific Northwest down to Texas. And they are looking to burst other people's bubbles, including the undefeated Trinity Tigers. The back and forth battle continuing, all tied up at 54. Putnam again in a tough spot, trying to dribble away from it, finds Elaine King, out to Emily Nelson. Nelson short on the 3. Now Puget Sound could take the final shot, but what we've seen is they don't like to wait. There's 19 left in the quarter and a foul on the way for Puget Sound. Foul will go against the first-year Sky O'Rourke. And the Loggers will continue to shoot, trying to take the lead here in the third quarter, a third quarter that started all Trinity, but just like they did last night, when Mary Hardin Baylor showed a run, Puget Sound did not back down. They responded and fought back, and here they are on top of Trinity. Reverman, who averages 7, splits her trip to the line, but then gets it back for Anchetta, and the layup is good for Puget Sound. Non-stop hustle for the Loggers gets them 2 more. And as the quarter comes to a close, Nelson, now Putnam, one more shot. Putnam, too much on it, and Puget Sound will go up to the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead. They have taken every punch, and they continue to give it right back. We have a fourth quarter finale on the way that is sure to bring a lot of excitement, so don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break on Tiger Network. Everybody catch your breath and get ready for the Final 10. We are ready for the fourth quarter from San Antonio. Puget Sound 57, Trinity 54. The Tigers ranked number 3 by both polls in Division 3. Puget Sound ranked 20th by D3 Hoops, but 14th by the WBCA. And you are seeing exactly why. Another pass taken away by the Loggers and then a foul. And the Tigers are going to have to really step it up in this fourth quarter to escape with a win. Robbins applying pressure to Minahan in the corner, but she's able to get it out. And now the full court pass to Reverman gives Puget Sound a good look from DeSala. Can she hit it? No. A rebound for Hale, and here come the Tigers the other way. Putnam charging with Milton behind her. Goes to Napoli all alone from 3, but short again, and that has been the story, Josh. The three-point shot is not falling for the Tigers. They are 3 for 18.
Yeah, 3 for 18. And Trinity was finding a lot of success attacking the rim, and they've abandoned that for three-point shot attempts, and it's been to their detriment. They have fallen behind now because I think that they didn't want to take what was working. Meanwhile, Puget Sound on the other end has kind of been able to knock down those long-range shots. I feel like they almost feel like maybe they have to match Puget Sound, shot for shot on those, but if they just continue to do what was working for them getting inside, I think they're going to find that they'll extend their lead and have better success doing so.
Well, I will tell you, trying to match Puget Sound at the three-point game is not something many teams will want to try. They make 10 three-pointers a game. That is 4th best in Division 3. This is their game, and so far Trinity playing exactly into their hands. That has been where they've been successful, though, but Claire Hale flailing that second opportunity up. But they need to continue to attack the basket. Thought there was a hop there from DeSala. Possession continues, and a foul as Brown drives to the lane. In terms of the three-point percentage for Puget Sound on the year, it is 34%. 23rd best in the country. Today, it is even above that at 35%. So really, we're seeing a team that, A, has not been afraid to run right with the Tigers, and B, getting to play exactly to their strengths. Running the floor, playing the press, and shooting from distance. And so far, so good for Puget Sound. Up 4 now in the fourth quarter. Kennedy Brown gets both to go, and she is up to 22 points. Robbins down low to Milton, but it gets away from the Tigers, and you can start to see the frustration. Not something we're used to at all. A Trinity team that is 10-0, ranked 3rd in the country, forces a walk here from Katie Minahan.
Napoli might have gotten away with a push on the back, forcing that overstep.
Putnam, great cut and finish. The delivery from Maggie Robbins pulls Trinity within 3. They get to a double team. Hale takes it away, up and in. Oh, and an offensive foul called on Claire Hale.
I don't know that she was outside that circle. Maybe we can take a look at that on replay, but that was contact with the defender inside the semicircle. That should have been Hale's position.
Let's take a look at the replay here.
Yeah, she's underneath that semicircle. She's not outside of it. So that should be an and one here for the Tigers.
The officials are discussing it as you look at the replay here. Clearly a blocking
Change
foul.
to a block.
And count it for Claire Hale. Delayed but not denied. She has a chance to tie things up.
And credit to the officiating here. It's human nature. It's hard to admit when you're wrong, but they did a great job of coming together, talking about it, and even if it took longer, than some Trinity fans might have wanted, as the replay showed, it was the correct call. And at the end of the day, you just hope that the calls are correct, and they did a great job coming together for that one.
And now we are all tied up again at 59. A floater gets into Milton's hands, and the Tigers can take the lead. All the way to Robbins. She cuts in from the corner. Floater in for Maggie Robbins, and the Tigers on top.
The last three possessions, Trinity has driven to the basket to try to take control of this game. Exactly what we were saying that they should be doing, and they have gotten back not only squared and leveled at 59, but now taking the lead after Robbins drops that one in.
A jump ball keeps the ball with Puget Sound.
You got Nielsen coming back in for Brown. So you replace one great scorer with another.
It is Nielsen who tries to get the ball, but Napoli nearly off of her for the steal. It'll stay with Puget Sound, and Coach Kushiyama has to call a timeout. He has seen enough here of this Tiger run. It is a 7-0 run in 24 seconds. That is how quickly the tide can turn for these Together Tigers. You'll get a look at that Maggie Robbins floater that dropped in. But a Trinity team that just seems to flip the switch. You said that phrase earlier, and I've heard it used before when people are describing this team. You get lulled into the sense of we can beat them, we can get over the hump, and then they charge right back at you with a steal, a layup, a three, whatever it ends up being, and it forces a timeout right there from Coach Kushiyama. And the way Cam Hill described it is being patiently relentless. That is his answer to what he has been happiest with so far, of how his team waits, works together, and then pounces when the moment is right. Says that they are very appropriately hard on one another when necessary, but they each have confidence in one another. And whoever it is from one to the bottom of the roster, they trust in each other, and we're seeing it in this fourth quarter. Nilsson has it taken away, and Hale, a bunny, is good.
And you talk about the flipping the switch. Both teams able to flip that switch here multiple times today.
DeSala off on the three, and it'll be a push from behind on Minahan. Ball will go to Trinity as this 9-0 run continues. That'll be her third foul. DeSala will check out for Anchetta. So you've got a couple of loggers playing with an increased foul count. Nilsson with 4. Her next will check her out. So the Tigers attack her. But it is taken away by Reverman. And the loggers going the other way, backing it out. Anchetta lost her dribble. Dangerous pass to Nilsson. A foul going to bail out Anchetta, who didn't seem to know exactly where she was going with the ball, leapt into midair, and will now head to the line. It'll be the third team foul for Trinity, so not in the bonus yet, but the shooting foul will send Anchetta for 2. First free throw, no good for Anchetta. Taking her time here, gets the second one down. And the lead becomes 3 for the Tigers. They've gotten a lot better at dealing with the full court pressure in the second half. And with 20 left, Napoli can operate. She cuts, dishes to Hale. Great Euro step inside. Fights for her own miss. Count it for Claire Hale. There is no one fighting harder right now than number 24 for Trinity. That'll be 16 points for Claire Hale, a chance to make it 17. Someone who missed the entire year with a torn ACL. Wasn't sure if she was ever going to play again, but she sure is, and she is delivering. Her free throw unable to go down, but the lead up to 5 for Trinity. A touchdown pass to Reverman ends up in a bucket. Great find for the Loggers. And with 7 minutes to go, Trinity 65, Puget Sound 62. Napoli trapped in the corner, gets it to Putnam. Now Robbins with 10 seconds left, decides to take it, cuts in. What a move for Robbins, but she can't finish the layup. It was there for her, but a break for Puget Sound. Nearly losing the ball before Minahan grabs it. Nilsson over to Minahan, and they'll back it out now. They'll call for the screen for Sword out. Nilsson to the corner. Nice baseline defense by Putnam, forcing her to put up a shot she was uncomfortable with, and it'll belong to the Tigers.
Fantastic defense there for Trinity. So many times you're going to see a team, make a little bit more contact than they should right there. Completely just relying on straight-up defense. Sort out, not able to put that layup in, and then the ball being knocked out. Trinity possession now.
Robbins catches it in a difficult spot, but she turns around, dribbles it off the foot of Nilsson, and it'll stop the action for a second. Robbins, as she always does, will send in the inbounds pass. Finds Milton. Little handoff to Napoli, who goes right, finds Claire Hale, and...
Fantastic pass.
Are you getting used to seeing Claire Hale headed to the line? Because I sure am.
And Claire Hale I feel like in the second half has come out and just been a completely different player. She had some success here early on in the first, but second half just taking over.
First free throw knocked down for Claire Hale. The senior from right here in San Antonio, Brandeis High School product, finally getting to play in front of her friends and family. And she is showcasing her skills, up to 18 points. And she'll check out for Elaine King, but listen to this ovation. High fives from every member of the Trinity bench as she takes a breather. Patinia Hillier has been quiet this second half, so she decides to make some noise with a layup. Despite this big Trinity run, Puget Sound is right there within 3. It is anybody's ball game. Putnam faked the pass to King. Now it's with Robbins. Napoli from deep. Napoli hits it. She missed a couple early on, but she continues to shoot confidently. And the lead doubled up to 6 for Trinity. Patinia Hillier calling for Nilsson. Will she do it from deep? No, Patinia Hillier all alone. And that shot that worked for her last night to be the hero comes up short for her.
Elena King just enough presence on the inside to short arm that from Patinia Hilliard.
Napoli nearly tried it again. Now she'll get another shot. Josie Napoli off the rim. Rebound for Milton. And then a travel. Just lost control there, did Milton.
I think Milton's going to say that was slapped out of her hands. But that'll lead us to the under 5 media timeout. I don't think players have recognized that yet, and now they start to head off the floor. And this one has been the back and forth affair, and I would say, caution Trinity defense here, as I feel like, it's kind of like a rocking boat. is this the Puget Sound comeback right here, just to draw back even? They go on a short little run. None of these runs have been overly dramatic or anything else, and they've been shut down, I think within due time. Nothing's gotten away from either team. It's just a matter of, you kind of blitz a team real quick on a couple of, full court press situations. Trinity got back into this because they took, 3 quick turnovers. You said it was a 6-0 run in 27 seconds. Don't go anywhere because, Puget Sound can knock this one back into a tie game really quickly. They've shown that all day. I mean, they're 11 of 32 from downtown, so I would say this is just a 2-possession game, even at 6-point lead.
Definitely, with how Puget Sound can shoot from deep. Still plenty of time here, 4:39 to go. But either way this turns out, you're getting a sense of why both coaches were so excited for this little round-robin action in San Antonio. They wanted tough non-conference tests. They wanted to show their teams what is out there and what they might see later on in the year. And we would not be surprised to see this matchup deep into March. But thankfully for us, it is a December special from the Alamo City that we are enjoying every second of. Sword out here out of the timeout, drops it off for Nilsson, who gets it to Patinia Hillier. Hillier going up against the bigger King, and King gets the rejection on the deep shot. What a nice job by Elaine King. Now Milton over to Putnam, drops it off to Napoli, and great job by the Loggers to recover. Trying to knock it out from behind. Will end up as a block for Nilsson. Now Brown headed, full head of steam, takes a tumble.
A lot of no calls here in those last 2 possessions. A lot of contact.
A lot of contact, but the referees letting the teams play. Minahan checks it in. Here goes Patinia Hillier. Double team on her. Kennedy Brown with half the clock gone. Taken away by Napoli. What great hands for Josie Napoli, and now Nelson will let her team catch up. Josie Napoli taking a play out of Maggie Robbins' playbook there with the steal. A great find to Milton, and Napoli clapping from the hardwood as she earned every inch of the court there. Josie Napoli with 2 steals, Nelson with 2, and Robbins, of course, with 4. And you've got Ashlyn Milton with 4 as well, but these Tigers are just so active. You can't let your guard down, and it'll be Josie Napoli from the line. Hits her first. Feels that she has fit right in with this squad coming down from Pacific Lutheran. A team in Trinity that wants to win as much as she does. And she hits both her free throws that could help propel the Tigers to a victory here over Puget Sound. But still 3:29 to go. Trinity up 8. The largest their lead has been since very early on. It has been a back and forth affair. Robbins wanted to travel there. Instead, they lose the ball later in the possession, and here comes Emily Nelson. Napoli has 2 around her. Nelson has some space to work with. Milton, top of the key, off to the left. Tough spot for Sword out. She is in trouble. And she gets it off the bodies of Trinity to set up the inbound, but watch out here, just 5 seconds for the Loggers to get it across. It'll be Anchetta dealing with the long reach of Milton.
I cautiously say you feel like maybe Trinity has taken it up just an extra notch here with the intensity level. Feeling like this is their game to win. And then the foul coming now from Robbins.
That'll be her 4th foul. So has to be careful with that one. For Trinity, also the 4th team foul, so the next foul will send Puget Sound to the line. Sword out tries it from distance, and she knocks it down.
Now 2 of 6 from downtown. She's got 6 points.
Robbins will try it from 3, but a foul away from the ball before the shot is put up, and it'll be on number 11, Jordan Riverman. A good thing for the Tigers because that 3-pointer was off, but instead they'll get 2 free throw attempts.
Riverman will have a seat. So Nelson will come back in. And for the Tigers, Emily Nelson will depart.
High arcing shot that Elaine King has there from the charity stripe. First one is good. Second one a bit short. Rebound cleared out by Nilsson. With that rebound, Nilsson now a double-double. Just a tremendous performance for number 15 of Puget Sound. She has the ball in her hands. Finds Anchetta in the corner. She's off with her shot, but Patinia Hillier nearly had the offensive board. Milton ends up with it, and the Tigers trying to get it across, and they will. Putnam has options to work with, and she'll choose to slow it down. Under 2 minutes now, Tigers up 6. Playing a little hot potato here with the ball. Now Napoli finds an open Milton. Milton drains it. When you need her most, she delivers. And they might be playing UPS, but it is the Tigers who deliver today. Up 9 now with a minute and a half. And they'll have to hurry, will the Loggers, if they want to stay in it. That 3 no good. Nilsson recovers it. A hop over to Anchetta, but a travel very delayed called on Anchetta. That's the second time she's been called for that. And Elaine King, after a great job filling in for Claire Hale, checks out for number 24. And as we see over and over with these Together Tigers, on any given night, it is someone new who steps up. And today, one of those have been Elaine King. Napoli helps bring it back out. Shot clock at 20. And we are approaching the minute mark. Putnam bouncing around there, calling for the ball. Instead, it's stolen by Spider-Man there in Minahan. You see her active defensive effort. They need to hurry it up, though. Down 9. Can't take all this time. Nilsson from the top of the key. She hit it before, won't hit it here. Milton battles for the board and comes up with it. Puget Sound looking to foul. Robbins across half court, gets it to Putnam, and precious seconds are ticking off for Puget Sound. And it looks like the Tigers are going to wrap this up with a bow. Finally, Josie Napoli is fouled.
And Nilsson will foul out. As you mentioned, the double-double, fantastic efforts from her today. Not only the 14 points, 11 assists, or 14 points, 11 rebounds, but also 4 assists and a block. Trinity finding that extra gear down the stretch, just keeping up the intensity level. And Puget Sound, just when I thought maybe they might have an answer as we hit the media timeout here in the fourth quarter, Trinity was the one that came back out and said, not in our place.
Not in our place indeed. Just 20 seconds to go. The lead 11 for the Tigers. And after a tough test provided by Puget Sound, the Trinity Tigers, just like they all did during final season, ace this exam. It'll be one more shot for Puget Sound. If they can get it up, Kennedy Brown will be fouled. So a little delay in the end of this game, but we know the outcome. But really want to congratulate Puget Sound on a terrific showing this week, taking down Mary Hardin-Baylor in dramatic fashion and then giving the Trinity Tigers all they can handle. You look at Kennedy Brown, Sophie Nilsson, Katie Minahan, just a few of the weapons that this team has, but all sorts of role players as well helping out. That second free throw, good, but it'll just put a couple more points on the board because the Tigers can yell timber. The Loggers have gone down in San Antonio, And Trinity unbeaten still through the 21st of December. They can have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy Hanukkah because they have not lost in 2022.
Yeah, and this a huge game here for Trinity because after this one we start to look into what's next, and what's next is our conference schedule. Already 2-0 in conference. We'll finish out the rest of the season with conference. This was a big test for Cameron Hill's bunch, and there were times when it looked like they might have maybe been just a little bit overwhelmed at times, but I think that they settled in really nicely. And at the end of the day, what I really liked seeing was that they took charge. You didn't win the game because the other team, fell back or something else like that. Puget Sound came out and they played an incredible game. The last 4 or 5 minutes there, I felt like maybe they, just didn't have as much of what they had all game and weren't able to knock down some of the shots when they needed them, the most. And they still had a fantastic outing here. Kennedy Brown with 24 points. 4 of 9 from downtown and 8 of 8 at the foul line, really pacing what Puget Sound had. And then Nielsen, just fantastic overall double-double day for her with the 14 points. They also got contributions, 4, 5, and 6 points from, a handful of other players, Swartout, Minahan, Riverman, Patinia, Hillier, Anchetta, and Dasalia, just all contributing and being, kind of a pain in the side of the Tigers for the most part. And then you flip to the other side, and I think it really was, Claire Hell, for me, I mentioned with you at halftime, I was really underwhelmed by what she had brought in the first half, just the intensity level and what I thought she could be capable of. She really impressed me in the second half, and, she finishes with 18 points, and I think really helped set the tone for Trinity because it allowed the Tigers to have that dominant inside presence when they weren't knocking down shots from downtown. It allowed them to get back into the contest and really push forward. Obviously, Ashlyn Milton, 25 points. She did that on 10 of 15 shooting, 4 of 8 from downtown. But, it was, the ability for Trinity to make that quick adjustment, find the person to go inside to, really both of those players, but Claire Hell. It was about a 4-minute stretch where I just felt like she announced that she was here and that she was going to be a player to be reckoned with, and really helped turn the tide for Trinity, and it was a lead they didn't give up.
Yeah, I agree, and it's kind of hard to quantify because not only did she put up those 18 points, but it felt like so many of them were at key moments, and the way she scored them got the bench off their feet, brought the gym to applause, and so they were those turning moments in the game that could have gone either way. Puget Sound had a chance to capture the momentum, but Claire Hale, one of those that helped Trinity really hang on to this one and pull off what's really an impressive victory. And as you mentioned, we look forward now, but also important to look back. And if you analyze who Trinity has gotten to beat, you've got the projected winner of the American Southwest Conference in Hardin-Simmons, who the Tigers have beaten twice. You've got the projected winner of the Northwest Conference, who the Tigers have now taken down. And so you start to think about a possible regional, that playoff appearance that is hopefully looming for the Tigers. And they have shown in the last couple of weeks that they are not going to back down to anyone in the West region. So it's been really fun to see them take the test head on and pass them with flying colors.
And that's fantastic, but also you've got to look for that continued growth. Because if the Tigers have to face Puget Sound in March, this Puget Sound team is a team that's really good. And, they may not be like Hardin-Simmons and lose to you twice, because now they've seen you. They know what to expect. And, maybe they won't be so rattled, even if they have to come back into San Antonio, if everything goes Trinity's way the rest of the year to be able to host something like that. So, this is a fantastic game, and I think both teams are set for a fantastic rest of the regular season. And I think it would be a fantastic playoff series if we got a regional game here with Puget Sound or something like that, because I think it's really two of the better teams in the country, and it was a treat for us to see all the best for Puget Sound as they go about the rest of their schedule. As they came in here, last night was a fantastic game. That was really enjoyable, and they just come up a little bit short here to Trinity. and come up short on the road to the number 3 team in the country who's still undefeated. It's nothing to hang your heads about. So it's a team on the rise, and a team that I think is capable of doing some damage if things start to go their way, especially as they get into the postseason. If they can keep it all together, put it that far. They're 2 fantastic teams, and it was a joy.
You heard us, NCAA. We want it right here, Puget Sound Trinity, back in March. We'll see you there for it. But for now, we'll take a 21-minute break, and we have more action on the way for you. It'll be another neutral matchup, this time on the men's side. It'll be Wisconsin-Stevens Point against Southwestern. So stick around for us if you want more good basketball. If you're a Trinity fan, no more women's basketball before Christmas, but you have the men in action tomorrow at 2. They pulled off a big win today as well, so they'll look to ride that momentum. But for everyone here, for Josh, I'm Brian Jenselson. See you in a bit.
I'm San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg. I am a Trinity University alum, and I want you to know about my passion for these 2 vibrant communities. My alma mater is now a nationally recognized liberal arts university, offering fully integrated arts, humanities, STEM, and professional programs. Grounded in the liberal arts, Trinity graduates students who think critically, act meaningfully, and contribute confidently throughout their careers. As for San Antonio, Trinity is an oasis in the heart of a city that serves as a cultural bridge to the Americas. We are a diverse community that values inclusion and welcomes intellectual curiosity and spirited debate. We're a city that challenges convention and welcomes new ideas. Great things are happening at Trinity University, in San Antonio, and through all our connections to our multicultural world. Join me in being part of this exciting moment.